In our world, no matter how different our lives may be, there are two things that everyone must experience in life: birth and death. How to properly face life and death is something each of us needs to learn.
The Story of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva, the benefit of life and death.
The Sutra of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva's original vow teaches us how one can receive benefit at the time of birth and death. At that time, Sakyamuni Buddha was in the triastrams of heaven, turning to his heavenly mother and countless gods, ghosts and spirits, to speak of the meritorious deeds of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva. And the great Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva explained to everyone the method of benefiting both the living and the dead.
World Honor 1. Sentient beings commit bad deeds, and even the smallest misdeed can accumulate into boundless evil. Those with such bad habits, at the time of death, should have their parents or relatives hold a feast offering and cultivate merit on their behalf, to support their path in the next life. They may also hang canopies, banners, and streamers for Buddha images, light offering lamps, or recite Buddhist scriptures. If not, then offer Buddha images and various holy statues, or recite the names of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, or Pratyekabuddhas on their behalf. Each name chanted must be heard clearly by the dying person, so it can enter their consciousness. Those who have committed bad deeds originally deserve to fall into the evil realms and suffer. But if their family members make these sacred offerings and recitations at the time of death, many of their past offenses can be eliminated. If, within the 49 days after death, many virtuous deeds are done for them, it can help them escape the evil paths forever and be reborn as a human, or be reborn in the heavens to enjoy wondrous bliss. And the merit received by their living relatives is also boundless. Because of this, today I request the world-honored one, as well as the heavenly dragons, the Eightfold Assembly, humans and non-humans alike, to exhort all sentient beings in the world, at the time of death, they must be cautious and vigilant. Never create bad karma through killing or worshipping ghosts and spirits. Why is that? Because killing and ghost worship bring absolutely no benefit to the deceased. Instead, they deepen and worsen their karmic obstacles. Suppose in their next life or even this life, they had the sacred causes to be reborn as humans or gods and enjoy blessings. But because of the evil deeds done by their relatives at their time of death, they are dragged down and must undergo judgment between good and evil, which delays their rebirth in a good realm. How much more so if the deceased committed no virtuous deeds at all while alive, and must suffer in the evil realms based on their own karmic offenses? How could their relatives bear to increase their suffering? World-honored one, I observe that the sentient beings of this world, whether in Buddhism or anywhere else, as long as they perform even the slightest good deed, as tiny as a hair, a drop of water, or a speck of dust, they will receive benefit. None of it is in vain.
The sentient beings of this world after death. If their family members perform meritorious deeds, offer food, and make offerings for them, creating many wholesome causes, will the deceased receive great benefit and liberation?
Venerable Elder, today, for the sake of all future and present sentient beings, and relying on the Buddha's power, I will explain this matter briefly. Venerable Elder, all future and present sentient beings, on the day they die, if they can hear even one name of a Buddha, one name of a Bodhisattva, or one name of a Pratyeka, regardless of whether they were guilty or not, they will attain liberation. If there are men or women who did not cultivate virtuous causes during their lifetime, but committed many bad deeds, after death, if their family members perform various virtuous and sacred acts for them, the deceased will receive only 1/7 of the merit, and 6 parts of the merit will be received by the living relatives themselves. Therefore, good people of the present and future should take advantage of the time when they are clear-minded and healthy to cultivate merit, so that they may receive the full benefit themselves. The great ghost of impermanence, life and death, comes unexpectedly. The wandering spirit in the darkness does not know what is virtue or sin. During these 49 days, it is like being deaf and confused, or arguing with the underworld judges. The karma, good or bad, created during their life, is examined and judged. Then, based on the karmic result, they are reborn. Even before the judgment is complete, they are already enduring great suffering. How much worse it is if they fall into the evil realms to suffer. Before this deceased person is reborn during the 49 days, they are constantly hoping that their dearest relatives will perform virtuous acts on their behalf and invoke the Buddha's aid for liberation. Once the 49 days have passed, they must follow their karma and receive the result. If they have committed severe offenses, they may be trapped for hundreds or thousands of years without any hope of liberation. If they have committed the 5 heinous crimes, they will fall into the great hells and suffer for countless eons without end. For sentient beings with such heavy karmic offenses, after death, if their family and relatives hold vegetarian feasts and create blessings and virtuous acts on their behalf, they can reduce their suffering in the evil realms. During the period of offering the feast, or before it is completed, water used for washing rice or vegetable scraps must not be carelessly discarded on the ground. And all kinds of food must first be offered to the Buddha and the Sangha before being consumed. If these rules are not followed, and one is not sincere and diligent, the deceased will not receive benefit. But if one is sincere and diligent, and maintains a clean and respectful offering to the Buddha and the Sangha, then of the 7 parts of the merit, the deceased will receive 1 part, and the other 6 parts will be received by the family members who held the feast. Therefore, Venerable Elder, if sentient beings in this world can hold vegetarian feasts and make offerings for their deceased parents or close relatives, and do Buddha's deeds with sincere devotion, then both the living and the deceased will receive benefit.
At that moment, countless ghost kings from the Iron Ring Mountains, along with King Yama, came to the Triastriya heaven to attend the Dharma assembly. Among them, there was one named the Ghost King of Life Control.
World-honored one, based on the karma created by people in the world, I am in charge of human lifespans. The timing of life and death is under my jurisdiction. My wish is to benefit them. But because sentient beings do not understand my intention, they cannot find peace in life or in death. Why is that? When people in the world are newly born or about to give birth, regardless of whether the child is male or female, as long as good deeds are performed, they can increase blessings for the household. The local earth spirits and ghosts will naturally rejoice, coming to protect the mother and child, bringing them great peace and happiness. This also brings benefit to the entire family. Or if the child has already been born, then one must be extremely cautious. Absolutely avoid killing or taking life, or preparing rich, fresh meaty dishes for the mother to eat, or widely inviting relatives and friends to hold feasts with alcohol, meat, music, and entertainment. Such actions will cause both mother and child to lose peace and well-being. Why is that? Because during childbirth, countless evil ghosts and demons desire to feast on the bloody scent. It is I who command the household deities to protect the mother and child, so they may be safe and benefit. When people see that the mother and child are safe, they should cultivate merit and goodness to repay the local earth spirits and deities. Instead, they kill and harm lives, gathering with friends and family to drink, feast, and make noise. Because of this, they bring misfortune upon themselves. They create the karma and must bear the consequences. Both mother and child will suffer harm as a result. Also, for those in the world who are nearing death, whether they were good or bad, I always wish that they not fall into the evil realms. How much more so if they practiced virtuous deeds, which could enhance the power of my vows. Yet even good people in the world, at the time of death, may encounter hundreds or thousands of evil ghosts and demons that transform into the appearances of their parents or other relatives to lead them away, causing them to fall into evil realms. How much more so for those who committed evil? For such men and women in the world, at the moment of death, their consciousness is already muddled. They cannot distinguish good from evil, and their eyes and ears can no longer perceive anything. Their family members should prepare grand offerings on their behalf, repeatedly recite and study Buddhist scriptures, and mindfully chant the names of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. With such wholesome conditions, the deceased can be freed from the evil realms. Many demons, ghosts, and spirits will also withdraw and disperse. World-honored one, when all sentient beings are approaching death, if they can hear the name of a single Buddha, or the name of a single Bodhisattva, or even hear a single verse or line from a Mahina Sutra, I have observed that such people can eliminate the 5 heinous offenses and the great sin of killing, and even minor bad deeds that would otherwise lead them to fall into the evil realms, can instantly be resolved and liberate them from suffering.
You possess such immense compassion, and have made this great vow to protect sentient beings in the midst of life and death. In future times, if any man or woman reaches the threshold between life and death, do not abandon this great vow. Always ensure that they attain liberation and bring them everlasting peace and happiness.
Please do not worry. I shall dedicate my very life and being to ceaselessly protect sentient beings in this world, so that in both life and death, they may find peace. May all sentient beings have faith and accept my words. Then none will fail to be liberated, and all will receive the greatest benefit.